Hi Brandon, happy birthday. Hi Brandon. Hi Brandon, happy birthday. Hi Brandon, happy birthday. Hi Brandon. Hi. Happy birthday. Happy birthday! Hello and happy birthday.
Hello, Brandon. Happy birthday. So sorry to disappoint, it is just me this year. I know. And I do have to be honest, this is probably going to be the last time I make one of these videos for a few different reasons. First of all, believe it or not, I was not a fan of the group project when I was still in school. I just got very stressful for me having to hound people for videos, and I'm at a point in my life where if there's a stressful thing that is optional, probably not going to do it. Second of all, you and I both know the average age of your fan base online. I'm 22 years old, and I am trying to limit the amount of time I spend talking to minors online. Finally, I don't know, 35 just seems like a good number to stop on, doesn't it? I mean, if you're 40 years old and I'm still living in Florida making these videos for you, I just need someone to take me out back and put me out of my misery old Yeller style. Now that we got all that out of the way, yes, you are 35 years old today, or whenever you're watching this, and if you want to feel really old, just think about the fact that I started making these for you when you were turning 28.
Ew!
Now, I am closer to 28 than you are, my friend. Let me go find my prune juice so we can toast to our glory days. Now that first video was just me sitting down, talking to my camera on my iPad with my ridiculous overexposure and emo choker and rent shirt and
Ew!
So, I thought it'd be nice to just, with this last one, take it back to basics, talking to my real camera this time and not lying to you like I did in the first one to sound cooler. I am so sorry.
Around last year, I stumbled upon theater class. I was instantly pulled in by you.
Okay, I have to say I did struggle a little bit to come up with something unique to say, considering I've had many chances to shout my general feelings in your direction. But weirdly enough, something that just keeps coming back into my mind is this Facebook post that you made in 2016. I don't think you have any recollection of ever saying this, but it is something that has stuck with me since. It says, "Never take anyone for granted, even strangers. For every person around you, there is someone else in the world who would give anything just to stand where you are and be in their presence." Now, the reason why that keeps coming back to mind is because, you know, we've had multiple chances now to just get to talk as any two people would. And even in the most mundane conversations, you know, I will just occasionally have this feeling wash over me of like, oh my gosh, I am just standing here and talking to someone that I have admired for so long. And that is just the coolest thing in the world. And, you know, you don't even realize that I'm thinking that, but I am. And, you know, I thought of the perfect comparison to kind of illustrate this concept for you, for everything that you have done for me. You are my John Waters. I mean, I picture this like food web that we learned about in middle school, you know, John Waters is at the top, and then, you know, he gave you 10% of his energy, and then you've given me 10% of your energy, and now I'm doing stuff like this. His dick smaller than my toes, tom ticky tom too.
Phone calls to mom, are you really hungry? Have a fat, juicy burger from McWendy's King.
Hey, party rock at home tonight, wow! Everybody have a good time, yeah. But the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, I want you to put yourself in my shoes and think about what that would have done to your confidence as a creative and just as a person if someone like John Waters was actively encouraging you and supporting you from the beginning. And that is what you have done for me, and it has just been so wonderful. You know, I've talked to you before about spending my entire life growing up in theater, but I don't think I've talked to you about how much those teachers kind of discouraged me in that program. You know, the way that it worked is the best of the best went on to Broadway or whatever, and everyone else kind of just settled to the bottom. And, you know, I had this really big comedic personality, but people only focused on like my singing and dancing, and, you know, therefore just kept sending these messages both implicitly and explicitly that I wasn't good enough. And I really took that in, and I didn't think that I had any other options besides Broadway, so I was like, okay, you know, if I can't do Broadway, I guess I'll just go on to be a teacher or something. I was like 13 years old when I gave up on that dream, and that is so young to give up on your dreams, you know, until a few years later, and I saw you just completely paving your own path in a way that made the most sense for you. And that just opened my eyes so much that, like, I could do comedy. I don't have to fit my talents inside of any kind of preformed box. I can go out and do exactly what works best for me and do what I love. And that is just such an incredible feeling, you know. I don't have to be a carbon copy of you. I just take your inspiration and, you know, you give me the courage to step out and do something that really fits me and my personality and my passions and interests. And that is just so fantastic. And, you know, I don't want to go into my whole ad nauseum monologue of like, oh, you know, you've changed my life, you respect me as a person, blah, 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 blah. So I want to go back to that Facebook post because I realized something else from that, you know, especially that last time when, after the show in Orlando, feeling all of those things, what the second realization was is like, I could be that person for someone else someday. I could pass on 10% of my comedic energy onto someone who just wants to make people smile and, you know, make them feel like they won the lottery just by, you know, getting to connect with me. And that has just motivated me even more to get myself out there and, you know, make as many connections as possible and just do what I love. And that is such an amazing thing. One final realization that I pulled from that is like, what is stopping me from feeling that way about all of my friends and all of the people that I talk to every single day? You know, just taking a second to stop and think like, I am so grateful to be in your presence right now. And maybe my friends feel that way about me and I'd have absolutely no idea. Just like you probably had no idea I was thinking that when you were taking a shot like a champ after the show. Anyway, the point of me saying all of this is to give you a chance in the midst of all the craziness to stop and reflect on the difference you have made in your 35 years on Earth. Every time that someone tells you that they followed their dreams because of you, or laugh a little more because of you, or decided to keep going another day because of you, I hope you really stop and internalize that like it is your first time ever hearing it, because it is so, so real. And I hope someone has told you recently that you are just a really lovely person to be around and talk to without all the bells and whistles and characters and fame and whatnot. I mean, at this point, honestly, I wouldn't care in the slightest if you just decided to quit YouTube forever and go off the grid, as long as we could still hang out sometimes. I mean, I would probably applaud your decision because the internet sucks and you need your rest, please. Well, with all that being said, I hope you have the most amazing birthday, and hopefully, before you know it, I will be out of this horrible place.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
And able to celebrate with you in person soon. Much love, Soph.